Hello and welcome to Jasper Reviews. This week I will be reviewing Somewhere, the latest film from Sofia Coppola. Here's a quick look at the trailer.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Cleo.
10 decisions shape your life. You'll be aware of 5 about 7 ways to go through school.
I need you to take Cleo.
You noticed all
When are you coming back?
I don't know.
7 ways to get ahead. 7 reasons to drop out. When I said I can see me in your eyes, you said I can see you in my pants. That's not just friendship, that's romance too. You like music we can dance to. Sit me down, shut me up, I'll calm down, and I'll get along with you.
I think Somewhere is the kind of film that if you don't enjoy it, then you're going to really hate it. The plot is essentially Stephen Dorff playing a character called Johnny Marco. He's a successful movie star and he's currently residing at the Chateau Marmont Hotel in Hollywood. He spends most of his time swilling beer, driving his Ferrari in circles, or making love to whichever woman he finds in his bed. He's forced to slow things down a bit when he injures his arm in a drunken accident, and he has things shaken up for him when his estranged 11-year-old daughter is unexpectedly dumped on him by the ex-wife. At this point the film starts to become more engaging, but it's just a shame that up until this point in the film, the whole thing almost collapses under its own weight of plodding, plot-free uneventfulness. You know, watching a Ferrari driving endlessly around in circles, or a pole dancing sequence which is shown in its entirety, then repeated. You know, these things start to get a little bit tedious. I mean, it's one thing to convey boredom to an audience, but it's quite another to have them sharing this boredom. I think, though, that if you enjoyed Lost in Translation, there's a good chance you will at least find something of value in Sofia Coppola's Somewhere. And I certainly did. It does deal with similar themes of detachment, boredom, and a general realisation that there has to be something more to life, though unfortunately not everyone will want to empathise with a main character who is rich, pampered and dull. But there is no pressure to like these characters or to sympathise with their predicament. And for one thing, I think this is the saving grace of the film. Coppola's direction is pretty much hands-off, so there are plenty of static shots and long takes and lots of natural lighting. It's like a stripped-down version of Lost in Translation. We're not given much in the way of explanatory dialogue. We have to fill in the blanks as though we're like eavesdropping on a conversation. I think this is a good thing. I mean, it really does give the film a very natural and authentic feel. It's certainly got much more of an indie European art house feel to it. The heart of the film comes from the developing relationship between Marco and his daughter Cleo, played by Elle Fanning. For me, I think the chemistry between Dorff and Fanning is wonderful, and there's a really great moment when she gives him a disapproving stare at the breakfast table because he has an unannounced lady friend left over from the night before. And we see that Marco starts to get the message that maybe his lifestyle isn't such a great thing after all. And it's this relationship with his daughter that manages to hold the film together, as well as take our minds off Marco's self-indulgence and it does direct our attention to the gentle sadness of the story, that despite the distractions of his material wealth, Marco does start to realise that he can't afford to neglect the one relationship that ought to matter the most. By the end of the film, you know, our characters haven't gone on this massive journey or anything like that. So there are no certainties here, but there are hints that changes are underway or might be underway. In the end, it's not really an original story, of course, but I think what makes this film a cut above is the fact that it's directed in such a unique way. Not to everyone's taste, admittedly. I think Somewhere is a great example of how understated direction can really show a story rather than tell a story. It isn't perfect. I don't think it's as good as Lost in Translation. However, I do think it deserves 3 stars.